Do you ever feel like everything's coming in on top of you and you feel like it's relentless and you don't get a break? And there's probably times in your life where you said, fuck's sake, like, I have to deal with all these emails, I have to deal with the bills, I have to deal with all these issues, this family stuff. Then someone dies, and it's like, what the fuck? It feels relentless. It feels like you never get a break, and it feels very unfair. It feels so unfair. And I don't know a lot. There was times where I was kind of questioning this and going, was it always like this, or is this normal? Like, did the last generation go through this, or like, are we just because we're getting? And you get all these questions in that moment when you're feeling like that. You're asking yourself, is this ever going to settle? So here's what I want to kind of shed a bit of light on: a way that you don't have to suffer in that. Now, I can feel that stuff that's happening, and I don't want to get rid of the feeling if there's something that needs tending to, and it's a negative thing that needs tending to. I need to be able to feel uncomfortable long enough to make a clear decision. The difference between me now and how I used to be is that I feel like I have perspective on things in that moment. So like I can feel that. Like last year, I had a fucking shit time last year, and it was heavy. Like it felt like there was no space between what was happening, and everything felt personal, and it felt like just constant, just fight or flight response. And it was just because I was taking care of someone who wasn't well, and I'm glad that I could do it. I didn't fall apart, and I have to look back at myself and ask myself, what is it that I was doing differently, being able to go through something like that, but have a bit of distance on it, so that I could show up as a man and be there for the people that needed me without falling on the ground, without buckling, without turning to drink, you know? And a lot of people do want to escape from that, and they feel like this is not fair. This shouldn't be happening to me. And once you go down that slippery slope, it's very difficult to process anything. It's very difficult to function, and it'll make you sick. So when you're feeling like that and stuff like that's happening and it feels unfair, your chest tightens up, your stomach tightens up, your jaw tightens up, and you just feel tense all the time, and it can stick with you. And then even when it's over, you feel like there's something in the background waiting to happen, and it's all going to happen again. Your world becomes very small. And I'm aware of this because I work with people who are struggling in that low state, that low feeling, that just life throws shit at you, and they're reacting to life instead of like choosing what they need to do. I know that feeling, and I went through it last year. Not only that, like I felt like, everything started to kind of ease off. Felt like a bit of a break, and then bang, January happens again. It's two fucking things happened. It was like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, how is this? Is this fair? Like, give us a break. And in that moment, you can start to spiral if you don't know how to just disassociate yourself from it and see things clearly with a bit of distance and perspective. So I can still have those moments if life, I'm not going around numb and pretending nothing's happening. I need to sense if there's something like that happening. And if something bad happens, I need to feel bad in order to tend to it. So I don't feel bad about feeling bad. I used to, and it used to just weigh on me. So I'm coming from both sides. I'm coming from a time when I used to feel like that and got stuck in it, so I can empathize with it and I can relate to it. And now I feel like I'm in this state of mind because I know simple little things, that I'm on the other side of that now, where not only am I feeling more resourceful myself, I don't want to say like feeling great, when things are going shit. You don't want to be feeling great when things are going shit because you won't tend to them. So I feel like I have the ability to be able to take a big step back. So I only feel bad for small periods, of very, very small periods of time. But it's necessary to feel that, because if something's not right, you need to know, right? So what I want to kind of express in this video, without, trying to give you more overwhelm, just want to kind of talk maybe where you're feeling at the moment, because I know there's a lot of people that are trying to help themselves, but it feels like trying to add more information into your day is impossible. Like, I have a course, and it's a free course, and it's about training your attention, right? So if 500 people signed up for that course, I guarantee you only 100 of them will actually follow through with the course, because they haven't got the time to fit that into their day. So even though it's going to help them, they don't have time. They feel like they'll go to another day, and then they feel like it didn't work because they never completed it and they feel like a failure. So I'm trying to figure out, what about those 400 people that they're stuck somewhere and they don't know how to get out of it and everything's a failure, you know? I have to think about those people who could have a little nudge along that could just help them to get on track. And once you build up the momentum, then things can turn around completely. So you can still have shit happening to you. I'm not going to pretend that that's never going to happen, right? But you can be more resourceful in that moment. So I can tell you how to, I can invite you to learn from me how to, imagine yourself being in a situation where there's challenges showing up in your life and you can feel uncomfortable long enough to make a clear decision which way you go. But you've got enough distance on it to be able to see the outcomes of each of your choices subjectively, like looking at it without judgment, and then decide what the next step is going to be. So I learned how to take a step back, not run away, not ignore it, step back. Just enough distance so that I could interact with the situation and not become it. Like, there's a big difference, between interacting with a situation and relating to it. This happens to me. And I am more resourceful. And in this video, I want to kind of just get across that I'm here to help those lads that are stuck, that don't have money to work with me, that don't have money to buy expensive courses. And I'm creating something as I go that's turning into something that's bigger than me, to help lads just remind them every day to take small little chunks of what I'm showing you, and it will be easier to change by doing these small little kind of me intervening with your day. The only thing that you have to do is, you don't have to do it. I'm inviting you to come along and just be here with this process. Follow my videos. I get enough out of this from my clients, and I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy making the courses. I'm making two or three more than I'm making. I'm thinking of the solution first, and then I'm thinking about how to monetize it so that I don't have to pay for it all myself. And that's not usually a good way to do business, but it always works out for me in the end. I've got clients that come to me, and I like to hear the stories back of how people just learned one thing from what I did and it changed their life. When they wake up in the morning, they don't have the sick feeling in their stomach. That's priceless. It's bigger than me. This is bigger than all of us. It has to change at some level. So a little bit of distance changes everything. And I'm going to just nudge you in the right direction to say you can go and you can get this thing. It's not going to cost you anything. And then when you're part of it, you're part of a community and you can stay incognito if you want. But what you're going to get is you're going to get notifications from me just checking in to see where you are and being able to change how you think and feel. So if someone's working with me, I don't just bombard them with logic and, wisdom and insight. I help them to change how they feel first. And then when they're feeling better, then you stack the insight on top of the new feeling. It's not easy to do. It's a very complicated process. But when you experience it, it feels like it's the easiest thing in the world to do. I want to do that with you through video, through conversational AI assistants, so that you can take them and you can just go and help yourself and fix yourself. And I'm learning from it as well, how to evolve myself during this mental time where everything is changing. And I've come a pretty long way in this field, in the coaching and the AI field. So I feel like I have something to share with people that's probably not going to cost you anything, because at the time when I was struggling, I probably wouldn't have had the money to pay like 1,500 quid to work with a coach. I wouldn't have had it. So I would have just put it off. But if there had been something there that someone could have just held me hand while I was full of noise and stress and overwhelm, and that relentless things going wrong all the time and feeling like you're just, it's happening to you and it's not fair, all that feeling, it's a horrible feeling. If someone had said, look, I'm just going to give you a little bits at a time, it's going to be digestible, it's not going to be overload, because all of the information that people are trying to stack into their mind can become counterproductive. You stop taking everything in, and it starts to feel like it's a personal attack on you when you're doing it, and it's not working because you just can't process it, because you haven't changed how you felt first. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be unfamiliar, but we have to kind of get you to the point where You're going to focus on something and try your best, do your best to show up and just take as much of it in as possible. Everything counts, even if the smallest bit goes in with this stuff that I'm doing, because it's solution focused. I see it as you're here and you're going to this outcome, and it's a positive outcome. I'm totally focused on that outcome. I'm not thinking too much about digging the hole and, going deeper into the problem and telling you why you're feeling the way you are, because then you just become more informed about your problem, and you become a more informed, unhappy person trying to find happiness in all that information. It's not really healthy in some cases. It does help some people, but for me, there's a better way to do it. And if you learn it properly in a slow, integrated way, things will start to change really fast. Like you heard the saying, like if 1% every day, it'd be 365% in a year. I'm going to be there to kind of do these videos to say, okay, look, here's what's happening. Here's what I found someone was struggling with today, and it's very common. And here's a way that we resolved it. And then I'll do lives on the channel. I've got a community in the app. When you sign up, you'll have access to everything for free. There's an AI assistant in there for free that coaches you through each step of the training your attention. It's going to be very hard for some men to just sit down and actually invest in it. I know that. There's like, what percentage is that of 100 men, sign up for the course, and 400 of them don't actually follow all the way through because they get sidetracked by life? I mean, 100 men out of 500 is a lot for a course in general. Like, that's their high statistics. That's what it was there at the beginning. There were high statistics that, like, that amount of people that completed the course, very high. It sounds low, doesn't it? And for me, there's 400 people out there that could have a little bit of extra, like, guidance, a little personal kind of interaction, and make them feel like there's nothing broken about you. There's just too much information coming in. And when you're debilitated like that with information, it's called cognitive overload. You can't function, you can't learn, you just end up in survival mode. And yes, you will go to work and you will get through the day. There's too much information out there today. Too many options, too many tools. And I'm here, like, doing all these videos. I'm in all of this noise. And you have to try and find this useful information in all that noise. If you do too much and you try and take too much of all the stuff in, I know what's out there and I know what people are digesting, and even for me to watch it is too much overwhelm. It's like you're trying to squeeze all that useful information into an already packed day, an already packed mind, and all that pressure. So instead of adding more noise into it, I focus on one thing: helping you to slow down, quieten your mind, and get to that place where you're not thinking about anything. You're observing small shifts step by step. And I'm talking to you. If you're that type of person that feels like you're just not able to sit down and focus on something without being distracted, I'm here to this is who I'm talking to. We've got the other people who can just sit down. I don't know how they have time to. I don't even have time to sit down and watch some of the courses that I bought. I would love to go back to that time where I could sit down for hours. But I don't need any more information. I need implementation. And to start taking action with, there's a group of people that I could technically help. And that would be more rewarding to me than just going and learning more stuff. I'm already good at what I do. I believe that I'm good at what I do. I get transformations really quick. So those guys that are like, I don't have time, I don't know how to, I'm stressed out, I've got all of this, and they have all these reasons why they're feeling bad and stressed and overwhelmed and why they can't take it, or just even worse, a couple of months go by and they go, what have I done with my life? I had that course, I should have done that. Oh, it's not going to work now. So small shifts, step by step, learning how to control your attention when things stack up, and you can learn how to do that. Learn how to be, like, handle yourself properly, be strong, calm and clear. Not perfect, not like numb and emotionless, just kind of steady, like where you can just take a step back and look at this situation and go, okay, what's the best thing for me to do here while I'm here? How can I show up? I feel like you're observing it from a third point of view, where you're observing a friend and you're just telling them, look, why don't you just do it this way? You're not emotionally attached to the outcome, but you can play the outcome out in your mind. You can see where your attention is, so you'll know if it's stuck on something. And that's what the free course does for men. It gives them the ability to control their attention, and that's the most important thing you can have control of. But if I give that to someone, question is it not, does it work? The question is do they have the mind, the quiet mind, and the discipline to apply it into their life, or is there other more important things on their priority list? So for me, I have a priority list, and my family are the top of it. And you have to kind of look at it. Where is this? If I give you a course now, a free course, like a 5-day course that you can do, it's only like 20 minutes a day. It's no big deal. Where would you put that on your priority list? Would you put it at the top? Or are you like, no, I need to get work done. I've got this thing tomorrow. I've got the family. I've got to take the kids to such and such. I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is that if you think about it, your mind is involved in all of that. And a stable mind stabilizes all of these other things underneath it. And it influences them in a much more positive way. So there's certain times that you have to reorganize your priority list and go, okay, today I'm just going to spend 20 minutes or reorganizing my mind so that I can reorganize my life. And if there's so much information out there, it's hard to do it. But if you have a system in place, and I've done my best to create a simple system that you can follow, but not only that, I need to hold myself accountable to show up for you. To say, okay, lads, here's what's happening today. Any questions? And you can go, yeah, I've got this question. I've got this thing going on in my life. Paul, how do you deal with that? Like, this is happening to me? And whatever you come up with, I guarantee you, I can change how you think about it. And when you change how you think about it, you can change how you feel about it. That's what most men want. They want to be in control of their day, the control of their mind, not to escape, not to like run away, to be able to handle it properly and show up. And if that's what you want, then stick around with me. Follow me around. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to invite you to be part of something that I know is going to add value to your life. And there's thousands of communities out there. Thousands of WhatsApp groups. I have a WhatsApp community that's attached to this, an app. That's it, like a Facebook group, but it's in its private app. All the courses that you get come free with it. You can play around with them. I'll talk about them. I'll help you to sleep better. I'll talk about how to just shut the fuck up in your head and stop talking to yourself and stop trying to figure things out. Just go back to that curious place in your mind where you're looking forward to not knowing what's going to happen next. You're not like trying to find certainty in your life. You're thriving through uncertainty. You wake up in the morning and you don't know what's going to happen, but you're looking forward to not knowing. That's where we need to get back to. It's not all this certainty and all of this structure and all of this stuff. You just need a system that works, that you can fall back on as things start to get stressful. It's like, okay, I'm feeling stressed. You'll know that you're doing something to make it worse or to make it better. And I'll help you to build that, to be able to step back and get a bit of distance on something and look at it subjectively like you're coaching a mate through it. And it won't be personal, to disassociate from it long enough to be able to see all the possible outcomes based on your behavior and how to modify your behavior to create a different outcome. And be at peace with that and realize it's a process. It's a system. And you know how to change it on purpose. And from that place, you'll deal with whatever's in front of you a hell of a lot better. So there's a link underneath this video, and I'm inviting you to consider being part of the community and allow yourself the time to think about it and come back. You don't ever have to buy anything. A lot of people will. But you don't have to do anything. You can just follow, and then it might even look at it, and then 2 weeks later you might get a bing on your phone, and it'll be a video from me that will be talking like this and relating to you about something that you're experiencing yourself, and then giving you a solution to be able to get yourself out of it. Small amounts of that will make a big impact in your life. If someone is there and shows up and is consistent and persistent. I know how to do this on a coaching call with a person when they're feeling overwhelmed and they feel shit. Every time after the call, at the end of the call when I'm working with them, I ask them how they're feeling, and they feel a way a lot better, a whole lot better. They feel like they can breathe. They feel like they're not a bad person. They feel like that there is hope and possibility. When you can feel like that in one go, it makes it possible. And the mind has to process that I can feel bad, but I can feel good really quickly. That's not not an awful lot of people get to experience that, because they stay in the unhappy feeling because they never get a chance to feel what it's like to be out of it long enough. And I lift people out of that because I know how to change how you feel first and then stack the deck with information. The information goes in better that way. But most of this, 99% of the stuff out there is information, 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 information. And you go off with cognitive overload, and then you try and learn, and your mind goes, I can't take any of this in. It's too much. And you just, because your nervous system's like delete, delete, delete. You know, all your nervous system's thinking in that moment is, how the fuck can I get out of here? Fight or flight. It's not thinking about, oh, how can I integrate this really cool technique into my personality? It's not doing that. It's doing the opposite of that. So all I can say is click on the link in the below the video. I just thought I'd do this today. I was something came across my mind today when I was just out and about, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of shit going on even this year. But you know, it ain't so bad for me because I feel like I can handle it way better than I ever could. And I was like, I must talk about this because I know just from my statistics on the courses and stuff like that, I can see that there's a lot of people that have access to really good information, but they don't know how to implement it into their already busy life. That's you I'm talking to. So if that's you I'm talking to, click on the link below the video and save the video and come back to it later if you're too busy. And just, you'll see me again. And the same kind of message will be in the next one. I'm inviting you to be part of the group of lads that are probably all going through the same stuff. Some are different. Some of them have broken through, and some of them will share their stories of how they did it. And some will just stay in the background and get information and enough insight to be able to change their life, and they can move on. Either way is good. So join the free, I don't even like calling it a community. It's a place where you'll be notified every now and again with some useful information. And then you'll be able to talk back to me and send me messages, or we may just even do a live and I can have someone live on a call with their issue, and you'll see the transformation happening in real time. And then your mind will go, okay, this is definitely possible. Never seen someone change this quick. Rather than just going and talking about your problems and feeling like that you just know more about them, as I said. So thanks for watching. I'm Paul Campbell, and if I see you in the community, ask me a question. If I see you, you'll see me in the next video. Either way is good. I'll talk to you then.